Hi friend, hi guys, this is Adebayo Adesega once again, and this is another episode of Inspired by Love. I am here to actually increase and expand your consciousness. And that's our goal, and that's the motivation, that's the inspiration behind all these episodes being bringing to you. So today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and the title of the topic is That Pain is an Illusion, and it's time for you to transcend it. Yes, that pain is an illusion. Transcend it. I'm going to say that once again. That pain is an illusion. Transcend it. So now this topic has some points inside of it. The first thing we need to look at now is illusion. I don't want to go straight into the pain word first. I just want to talk about the illusion. Now, before I go further, I need you to understand something, that everything I'm going to be saying right now, I'm going to be talking from a sense of humility and a sense of responsibility. You see, this topic is a very, very sensitive topic, and no one in this world is actually free from pain, quote unquote, because pain is one of the reality that we've come to accept and we experience in this dimension that we are right now. So to deny pain is just to fool yourself as if it does not exist. It exists. We feel pain, whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not. Pain is a part of our lives. It's something that we just need to accept that it is. You understand? But now this topic is just like we are trying to paint a picture that whatever exists on this planet, on this realm that we are, is actually it stems from nothingness. It stems from nothingness. So once you understand that what this planet, everything that we touch, everything that we feel, everything that we experience is actually an illusion, is actually nothing in disguise, is actually breath. That was what came to my mind just now. Breath is just air. Can you see the air? No, but you can feel it. But it's not tangible, right? But you can feel it, right? So it comes from nothingness, and I can prove it to you. I can break it down from even what material matter to nothingness. So let's go a little bit into science. Molecules. Okay, matter can be broken down into molecules. So it means that it is molecules, the combination of molecules is what forms matter, what we can touch and see and can feel. So this body that I have right now is matter, right? It's something tangible. So it's broken down into molecules. Molecules are broken down into atoms, like that. And from atoms down into subparticles. And from subparticles, which are protons, ions, and bosons, going down to nothingness. So our body here is this body. Now this body is made up of cells, is made up of organs. Systems are broken down to organs. Organs are broken down to tissues. Tissues are broken down into elements, or whatever you want to call it, or cells. Cells. Tissues are broken down to cells. So cells, the combination of cells is what gives tissue. So tissues down to cells, and cells down to elementary particles. And these elementary particles are like let me go down to elementary particles, from cells down to the chromosomes down to the genes, and the genes down to DNA. And DNA is made up of ordinary simple things like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and basic elements. And these elements are made up of nothing. So we are actually made up of nothing. So our basic composition is really nothing. So once you come from that understanding, then you come to realize that whatever we experience and feel, or whatever we see, is actually made up of nothing. But can we now say that the nothingness is a thinking nothing? Or you can't just say it is not it. It is nothing, but it is actually nothing, because when you actually break them down, for example, scientists discovered that the human body, or material existence, material things, the percentage of the composition of material things is just 0.0000001%, and the remaining 99.99999% is spirit, right? Is energy. And energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Energy is just what it is. It is not tangible in that sense, but energy can be converted from one form to another. So we are offshoots. We are the offshoots of that energy. I've spoken a little bit more about this in my previous episodes on how energy. I've talked a little bit about energy dynamics. We can't separate energy from spirit. Energy is spirit. So when you see spirit, then you should be able to understand that this is energy. So, and I said something in my previous episode that once you start seeing life from the perspective of frequency, vibration, and energy, it changes your paradigm. It changes the way you see things. So once you understand that, you will now realize that whatever is made up of things that are not seen. So whatever is seen are made up, or whatever is seen is made up of things that are not seen. So that also complements what the scripture says. The scripture says that the things that are seen are made up of things that are not seen. In fact, in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, it says faith is the evidence of things not seen, right? It's the substance of things not seen, and the evidence of things not known, or something like that. So whatever is whatever is seen is made out of things that are not seen. So that complements the fact that whatever we can see, we can touch, we can feel is made up of things that are not seen, or things, or nothingness. We are made out of nothingness. This is a scientific fact. So when I say that pain is an illusion, I can also say that pain is nothing. So that pain is nothing. Transcend it. What it means is that you need to first come into an understanding of this reality. And when I say understanding, it means you have to come to a consciousness of this reality. There are different levels of consciousness. Yes, at a level of consciousness, the pain feels real. It's undeniable. I feel pain. Everybody feels pain. I also feel pain. It is just a part of our lives. We have come to accept it. But now, you will get to a point where whatever pain you're feeling, you can transcend that pain. And that does not mean that there is nothing called, or that does not mean we can't deny the fact that there's something called threshold. Yes, there's a threshold, whether we like it or not. There's a level of pain that you can't bear. There's a level of pain that obviously you can't bear. Bible talks about even Jesus. At some point, if you read the story of Jesus in the Bible, at some point, even when Jesus, he got to a point where he asked God, he told God, he said, God, please, if it is possible, take this cup away from me. Take it from me, because I don't think I can bear it. Because even the Bible now says that his tears was like that of blood. Like he was crying and blood was coming out of his eyes. That was the literal meaning of that. He could actually feel that pain to the point where he knew that, am I sure I'll be able to bear this pain? And really, I remember this film, Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson was the producer of that film. And if you watch that film actually depicts the level of pain that Jesus actually went through he bore that pain to that point that it was really, I can't imagine myself going through that kind of pain. I can't. That's the truth. I can't. So there's a threshold for everybody. That's the truth. There's a threshold. But when you get to that threshold, then you can surrender. And there's something called surrender. You need to get to a point where so I'm actually going into some of these points of how to bear pain. I'm gradually going into it already. So surrender is one of the keys to bear that pain. The issue of desire is a very, should I call it complex? Yeah, it's complex. Our desires are not actually simple; they are complex. And nobody can actually give a definite definition or definite definition. Nobody can give a definition of what desire actually really is. The best we can do is just to give it what we think it is. But from a perspective, from experience, we've come to realize that desire, I think that desire is God. Desire is pure energy. It is your perception, it is your conditioning that gives a filter into what desire is. So desire is one. Desire is pure. At the base, at the foundation of every desire is pure consciousness. Now it is you that gives definition to that desire. So once you understand these things, these concepts, then you are free. I said in my previous episode about the fact that freedom is our fundamental urge. We want to be free. We want to be free from limitation. We want to be free from boundaries. So, but now, how do we get that freedom? Is where the world is right now. The world itself wants to be free. We as humans, as conscious entities, we want to be free from limitation. And the only way we can be free is what Christians call be born again. Yeah, being born again is there are some things we need to understand about being born again. Some people believe that once you are born again, that you are born again once, and that's all. Yeah, being born again is not a one-off process. It is a continuous process. And before you talk about being born again, then you have to actually understand what death means. So you can't be born again without dying, because for you to be born again, it means you have died. You died before you were born again. So it means that, okay, you were born before, then you died, and you were born again. So now scientifically it has been proven that all the cells in our body, they die and they regenerate. Now every cell in the body comes to a point where it has to die, and the cell will be reborn. So of course there are over 70 trillion cells in our body. Each one of them would have to die, and once it dies, it regenerates. That reminds me of the scripture. The Bible says that until a corn of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone. Until a corn of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone. But when it dies, then it brings forth much fruit. So, the point now is this. One of the reasons why we feel pain. Now, pain, the root of pain is actually fear. And the root of fear is the fear of death. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. The root of pain is fear, and the root of fear is actually the fear of death. In fact, the fear of death is the main thing. Yes, there are different kinds of fears. Many people, they use the word phobia, agoraphobia, claustrophobia, different kinds of phobia. The word phobia actually means fear, right? So we start giving it different categories based on our perception and based on our personalities. We give different kinds of definitions to different kind of fears. So from fear, everybody now branches to different. It's really in a very funny world. Sometimes when I think about these things, I just laugh sometimes, because fear is just one. It's just one. Whether it's claustrophobia, whether it's this or that, at the root of fear is the fear of death. I know the interesting part is we are dying without knowing. We are unconsciously dying. But now when you start coming to a consciousness of your death, then you realize that, oh, I've actually been dying from the day I came to this world. So every second, every minute, there is a death going on. Your cells are dying and it's being reborn. You see, the truth of the matter is, if I take a cell from you, from all the over 70 trillion cells in your body, if I take one, I should be able to decode who you are. A cell, just one cell, is a representation of you. Of course, thank you for watching. And I want you to anticipate the next episode. Be inspired. I want you to be inspired by love. I love you, and stay inspired. Bye.